Welcome to Faith and Freedom. For the next few minutes, we hope to inform, inspire, and encourage you as we discuss legal victories and challenges to your fundamental freedom and religious liberties. Faith and Freedom comes to you from Liberty Counsel, a civil liberties education and legal defense organization. Join us now as Matt Staver, founder and chairman of Liberty Counsel, explains the latest legal issues all across this country. In the courtrooms of America, Liberty Counsel is winning the battle for your constitutional freedom.
A Michigan court rules that a family has a right to display a nativity scene. Hi, I'm Matt Staver, founder and chairman of Liberty Counsel. Joining me is Matt Barber, vice president of Liberty Counsel Action. Matt, there's this federal court in Michigan saying that a family has a right to display a public nativity scene, marking an end to a 4-year court battle that started when militant secularists objected to the 60-year-old tradition. So this is good news where you have a court ruling the right way, saying you've got a right, and this is protected under the First Amendment.
Yeah, we often have so much bad news to talk about, and during the Christmas season with the war on Christmas ramping up, it's nice to get a victory here and there, and this is good news. We were just talking about yesterday where the United States Department of Education, the Obama Department of Education, is going in and intentionally misleading people in school districts around the country, in Florida in one case particularly, telling them they can't have nativity scenes on school grounds, which is just nonsense. And here we have good news where a judge has upheld a right of an individual on public property to display a nativity scene, one that has been there for 60 years.
Yeah, this is in Warren, Michigan, and this family has erected a nativity display in the public median of their town, in the median section of the town, since 1945. And it's been no problem, but the Freedom from Religion Foundation, the infamous organization from Madison, Wisconsin, that's very anti-Christian. In 2008, they sent a threatening letter to the city saying that this display violates the Constitution. So the following year, the county denied the Satawa, which is the family's name, nativity permit because it, quote, displays a religious message, according to the town. Well, that denial led to a federal lawsuit that went on for 4 years. And now that federal lawsuit has culminated in the federal appeals court, actually not just a lower court, but a federal court of appeals, ruling in favor of the family's right to display this nativity scene.
Yeah. Which displays a religious message more? The fact that every government across the country, including the federal government, shuts down on December 25th because it's Christmas Day, a federally recognized holiday, or some neat plastic representations of the birth of Christ in the middle of a median, and you mentioned this is the Freedom from Religion Foundation. It's amazing how people who are so ideologically driven like this, trying to reinvent and recreate an America in their own secular humanist self-image, have to get around or trample over, if you will, the United States Constitution, clear precedent, the clear law of the land, in order to try to really cleanse any public sphere of it's not just any religion, it's the Christian religion. It's religious cleansing that they are engaging in here. And unfortunately, all too often, they get like-minded judges with their same mindset to help them out. Here, in this case, religious liberty is protected.
Well, it's a good victory. And in fact, the town should not have listened, as we often say, to these threatening letters from the Freedom from Religion Foundation. But the town, from 1945 till 2008, this display was erected every year by the family in the median of their town. They got this letter from Freedom from Religion Foundation. They said, we don't want to be sued because we might lose and we'll have to pay all these attorney's fees. So they censored the permit, and in 2008, they said you cannot have this permit. And so it's not been there for 2008, 9, 10, 11. Well, in 12, it will be there because the Federal Court of Appeals ultimately, after 4 years of litigation, ruled in favor of the family. And now the town is going to have to do what? Pay attorney's fees for 4 years of litigation following the wrong advice of the Freedom from Religion Foundation.
A couple points to make here. People need to understand, and I hope that everyone listening right now, if this sort of thing arises in your community, if the Freedom from Religion Foundation or Americans United for Separation of Church and State, any of these radical anti-theist organizations, anti-Christian organizations come into your town and start threatening people, contact Liberty Counsel at 1-800-671-1776 or give us go to our website, lc.org. We are here to stand up against these bullies, and that's exactly what they are. They are the head of the spear that represent a radical minority of secularists here in this country who are running around looking for reasons to be offended and finding ways to express their hostility toward the Christian faith.
Yes, and you can go to lc.org, as Matt said, and right there on the front page, there's an icon, I Love Christmas, and right there, click on that. It has all these memos about the constitutionality of these kinds of displays. This was a private display on public property, and therefore it's protected by the First Amendment right to freedom of speech. This is a forum that's open. These individuals put the display there. You may have similar areas in your community. You might want to ultimately do that. In fact, there's one where several years ago in Wisconsin, there's this community, there's a city there that ultimately allows individuals to put up displays, and they told one of our clients, you can't do that. We worked with our client. That client ultimately worked with the governing authorities, and every year now, the most beautiful display that is part of this public display by private individuals is this very large nativity scene display. I'm always encouraged every year because the client sends us the photographs. And it is probably one of the most beautiful nativity scenes that I've seen, and it's because someone got involved and Liberty Counsel was able to help. Go to Liberty Counsel's website, lc.org. Also remember Liberty Counsel in your prayers and financial support as well. But over here now, moving from Michigan, where you got good news, Matt, to Pennsylvania, you have the Freedom from Religion Foundation, again, popping its ugly head up. And what it did in the city of Elwood, they ultimately wrote a letter to the city saying that the nativity scene that they have had on their public property was unconstitutional. So the city made a decision to remove it, and now it's being displayed by a private business, or actually by a church right nearby. So they're same nativity scene, but now it's on private property on a church. But the mayor or council woman tells the Pittsburgh Tribune-Review that the council reluctantly agreed to take down the display after the borough's solicitor called it a no-win situation. But the mayor, Anthony Court, says the new creche in the new location doesn't sit well with him. He says the city council should have stood up to the complaint from the Wisconsin-based Freedom from Religion Foundation.
Well, he's exactly right. What do you do with a bully? If a bully keeps getting his way and intimidating kids on the playground and nobody stands up for themselves, then the bully is encouraged and emboldened and continues to bully more and more people. But when a little kid is being bullied and he turns around and punches the bully in the mouth, metaphorically speaking, of course, then the bully oftentimes is proven to be a paper tiger. Well, the Freedom from Religion Foundation is nothing but a giant paper tiger, and the mayor here is exactly right. Mayor Court, they should have stood up to these bullies and told them to take their secularism and pack it and move on out of their town.
They should have. And in fact, you followed the advice of the Freedom from Religion Foundation over here in Pennsylvania, and now the nativity scene is removed. It's on church property, which I think the city should have stood its ground in Pennsylvania. Over here in Michigan, they followed the advice of the Freedom from Religion Foundation from 1945 to 2008. This private family had put up this display on public property. The city got sued. 4 years later, they lost the battle. They're going to pay thousands and tens of thousands of dollars in attorney's fees for censoring the viewpoint of this family because the viewpoint of the family was religious, wanting to put up a nativity scene, and they certainly had a right to be able to do so.
Absolutely. Again, that's what we're here for. That's what Liberty Counsel is here for. And so individuals need to let their city councilman know, let their mayor know anytime something like this arises to get in touch with Liberty Counsel.
And that's why we are in our 10th year for the Friend or Foe Christmas campaign. It's designed to educate and, if necessary, to litigate to make sure that Christmas is not censored. You can go to Liberty Counsel's website, lc.org, click on the Christmas icon right there on the front page. It'll take you to a page with all of the legal memos that you can download. It addresses these nativity scene issues on public property. It addresses Christmas carols in public schools and the employment place, and also the naughty and nice list there as well. Find out what the retailers are doing. Are they profiting off of Christmas while pretending it doesn't exist? If that's the case, let them know you're not going to patronize them this year. A big effort has been done over the last several years, and many retailers have changed to acknowledge Christmas, and it's because people like you are telling these retailers, and it is making a difference. Go to Liberty Counsel's website, lc.org, download the Naughty and Nice list. Keep us informed. Also, this is the end of the year for Liberty Counsel, a very important month as we close out the fiscal year and move into the new year. Go to Liberty Counsel's website, pray for Liberty Counsel, remember us in your year-end contributions.
You have been listening to Faith and Freedom with Liberty Counsel. We hope that we have motivated you to stand up for your faith, family, and freedom. We can accomplish a lot when we work together. Get informed and get involved today. Sign up for our free monthly newsletter, The Liberator. We will send it out to you free of charge. Stay informed with our Liberty Alert email updates. Just click on the website at www.lc.org or call us at 1-800-671-1776. Tune in next time to learn more about your rights right here on Faith and Freedom.